Hey folks, it's been a couple weeks, time for episode 9 of my hydroponic experiment, and I'm going to start out with the not hydroponic side of the show, and we'll take a look at the zucchini. And I'm looking right in the sun, so squintiness. So these guys are just barreling along. Everything's going pretty good in here. The leaves on these are gigantic. I don't know why they're starting to turn kind of yellowish, but yeah, we're pulling stuff out of here every day still. I've had a buttload of zucchini. My beans in here are pretty much they're struggling. It's not going to happen so much. Like, let me see if I can get in here close enough so you can see, but there's like just a wee bean right there. And when you see what the other ones are doing that were planted at the same time, it's not even funny. But in all fairness, they are basically growing in the shade. So we're still pulling zucchini out of here all the time, and cucumbers out of here. So out in the back by the raised bed, it's starting to get a lot more shade right now, so things are kind of calming down. My lettuce is still growing. I'm hoping we're going to eat that real soon, but it's not growing as fast as I hope. And my cantaloupe are not doing anything at all. It's growing and it keeps extending out, but I'm not getting any fruit, so that's a bummer. My peas, I put the seeds in the ground. They're doing great. And these guys, like right here, they don't make it in the house. I just pick it and eat it. It's so good. Tomatoes are finally starting to do something. There's an orange one on there. So we ate one the other day. It was so good. They're really thick. There's like hardly any seeds in there, so it was just all delicious meat. So I had my first fresh BLT of the season, and this plant's doing good. Look at this guy right here. This is a cherry tomato, and it's almost like a half a tomato, but so I'd probably be eating that tonight. There's a few more on the other side. Those are all good. There's good stuff going on in here. My second timer failed. I think it might have to do with the fact that I'm using a non-pure sine wave inverter, and maybe the electronics and the timer don't like that. That's what I'm guessing. But anyhow, back to lessons learned. One, flowers love this stuff, but number two, they get bushy. So if you're trying to do flowers and plants together, it is hard. These beans are bushy. Tomatoes get tall. So next year when I do this, I'm going to have a much better idea of what to plant where, so it's not as hard to harvest. Here's a major thing. You do not want to have your backside blocked like I put it right here. You want to have 360 degree access to your planter, because it's really hard to do anything if you don't. And then like these guys right here, this one and this one are way too close together. Now this guy and this guy are far enough apart. This is good spacing, but then I got them too close together again on this one over here. So you really want to have about 3 feet of space in between each of these if you got the room for it. If you don't, then jam them in there and deal with it. And then the other thing you really want to think about is, like, if you're going to do beans, they are super bushy. So I don't know, I'm not sure what to tell you what to do about these. I mean, they grow fantastically in this environment, and when I sit down and think about it, I'll come up with a better put this here kind of a deal. Lettuce grows awesome. I'm letting this lettuce, this is romaine up here, and it's seeding out, and I'm going to let it seed out, and I'm hoping I can capture the seeds and then plant these again next year, because it was such a great plant. The lettuce was so good off of these. Same thing right here. As you can see, where I've been eating up the stalk of this thing. It's good. And then right down here is another one that's going to be getting tall real soon. So yeah, we had BLT the other night with a brand new tomato with brand new lettuce. Oh, so good. I got one of my heirloom strawberries growing right here. They're still kind of coming out. Every once in a while you come out, maybe every couple, 3 days you eat a strawberry. So I think the problem with these was I did not give them enough sun. They were in here with all this other stuff, and they might have got blocked out a little bit. I got something bugging me here. I got one broccoli here that's getting ready to be eaten. These beans got so thick right here that I completely lost track between the beans and this petunia. I completely lost track of the fact that there was a broccoli back here, which is now growing like super tall, and it's blooming. So if you want to know what broccoli flower looks like when it's blooming, that's it. And apparently those are edible as well, so maybe I'll pick some of those off and decorate a salad with them. My tomato plant is still growing gangbusters. We're eating tomatoes off of those every day or so. It's kind of weird though, because the sun has started to kind of calm down a little bit, so things aren't going as great as they used to be when it was getting full blast of sun. I don't know what my bean plants are doing to my red bells right here. I don't know if that's stunting the growth of my red bells or how fast those are supposed to go. Now they just look like green peppers, but eventually they will turn red, I hope. And back here there's another one. That's a big one right there though. So I'm hoping that's going to do something. My jalapenos are way in the back, and I probably got 3 or 4 that are ready to go. Geez, I just picked beans, and you pick them, and then you still come out and you find ones you missed. But every day I'm picking enough for 2 people to eat off of just this little bit of stuff right here. So it's more beans than I can eat, at least, you know. And I'm not canning anything. We're just trying to eat it as fast as we can. So I'm starting to get into bean overload. Kind of a sad thing, my pumpkin plant is not making pumpkins. It blooms, and the blooms are really cool, and it's growing. But then the bloom just falls off, and so there's no pumpkin. So it's very sad. That and my cucumbers are just not. That one cucumber plant just finally died, so it's not doing anything. And I don't know if maybe pumpkins are one of those things you're supposed to have 2 of because you need it to pollinate or something. I really don't know. I don't know if I did that wrong somehow. My neighbor's pumpkin plant is going huge, and I really don't have much going on right here, so that's a bit of a bummer. Yep, these are today's beans. Just a little pile, but it's still a lot of beans for just 1 or 2 people.